And that's without variableness.
Come on, Terry.
There's no be perfect. And there's a specific definition for what perfection is. And we'll talk about that again, but I want you to understand, because of this training, emulation, this sin, we now have this stronghold that I've given you in code, nos rep doagami. Because of this sin of emulation, we have this stronghold. And I said, because of this stronghold, all these sins mentioned in Galatians 5:20, we do. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I'm going to start revealing the identity of this stronghold just by reading a few verses, and I think you'll see it almost immediately. Go to Luke 18. And interestingly enough, Brother Marcus actually talked about this a few months back. He just didn't deal with it from a stronghold perspective. But he said, hey, that can't be true. He pointed out that can't be true because this is true. So we're going to, I was actually tempted to just repeat the same scriptures he did, but I said, no, I'll use some other ones. In Luke 18, we have this interesting observation that's going on in verses 9 through 14. And we talk about Jesus. He says, and he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous, and despised others. 2 men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee, the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself. By the way, did you notice that? Prayed where?
With himself.
With himself. He says, God, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. Jesus says, I tell you, this man, this publican, went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalted himself shall be abased, and he that humbled himself shall be exalted. Now, notice in verse 9 it says, he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyone can tell me what the name of the stronghold is? You haven't seen it yet, but it's well. Let's go to Proverbs 20. I've given you all the letters that are in the name of the stronghold, so it's right there. It's right there.
I see what it is that long, but I don't know what stronghold. I know I am a good person.
Boom.
Yeah.
The name of the stronghold is I am a good person. Now, some Christians try to get spiritual and say, well, I'm basically a good person. It doesn't matter. You've already told God you don't know what you're talking about. Let's make sure you get this. By you declaring I'm a good person, you're telling God he doesn't know what he's talking about. God said none is good.
I'm righteous.
God has said none is good. Jesus himself, who lived without sin, did not even take the label of good. He said, none is good save God. Yet, why is it in this room that people who sit here think, I am a good person? Now here's the thing. If you think I am a good person, you can't receive anything from God that says you're not.
Jesus.
If you think I am a good person, you can't receive anything from God that counters that. Because just that God is absolute, you are absolute. And when you say I am is what? The name of God. When you take the name of God and stick it next to evil, because that's what you're doing, you're taking the name of God in vain. But you believe I am good. That no matter how many years you go to church, I've been in church 50 years, doesn't matter. Nothing will penetrate that wall because you've already said, you've already determined, I am good. Then there's nothing God can do to help you. Until you do what we read in Luke 18, abase yourself. Do as the publican that says, Lord, forgive me, I am a sinner. But that wasn't yesterday, that's today too. I'm learning. See, as a matter of fact, there should be no time a Christian says, I am good. Not even, I have become good. I don't think it's possible to say on this side of resurrection. I don't think it's possible for a Christian to say, I am good on this side of resurrection. What we should be doing is figuring out how to do good.
Right.
Amen.
Remember, everything is hinged on what you do.
Amen.
What you do. Now, the reason this is important, if I already established way from childhood that I am good, then there's certain things God is telling me to do, I'm never going to do.
Amen.
Because sinners need to do that. But I'm good. That doesn't apply to me. Now here's the funny thing. God will continue the spankings. He will bring sickness on Christians. And by the way, sickness should be an abnormality in Christians. We take it as normal. It's normal for non-Christians. It should be an abnormality in Christians. It should tell you something's wrong. Something. Lord, what's going on? Because there should be no sickness. Either my sin is causing it, or there are times where God is going to cause a sickness to make you look at something, or just to cause you to suffer. I had the one-day flu one time, and it had nothing to do with me. But for the most part, sickness should be seen as an abnormality. Something's wrong spiritually.
Somewhere.
Something's wrong spiritually. I need to talk to God